Hello and welcome back to Project Luxury. The Gordie Howe International Bridge stands as one of North America's most impressive infrastructure endeavors. This monumental project not only connects Detroit, Michigan, and Windsor, Ontario, but also sets new standards in design and construction. It is much more than just an engineering marvel. It is a transformative project that is reshaping how people travel, trade, and interact across borders. Welcome to Mega Builds, where we explore some of the world's largest and most innovative mega projects. And today, the spotlight is on Gordie Howe International Bridge. Before the Ambassador Bridge linked Windsor, Ontario to Detroit, Michigan, crossing the Detroit River presented a significant challenge. The Detroit River is wide and deep, making it ideal for shipping but difficult for people to traverse. In the early days, trains would use ferries to cross passengers across the river, where they would continue their journey by rail. This system, while functional, was not the most efficient. However, in 1929, the competition of the Ambassador Bridge revolutionized transportation between these two cities. At the time, the automobiles were becoming increasingly popular, especially in Detroit, which was fast becoming the heart of the American automotive industry. The Ambassador Bridge was constructed to facilitate the growing need for smoother transportation of people and goods, particularly in trade between Canada and the United States. Today, the Ambassador Bridge remains a critical trade route, with over 10,000 vehicles crossing it daily, carrying about $400 million worth of goods every day. The bridge is crucial for industries such as automotive manufacturing, where the seamless flow of parts between Michigan and Ontario is vital. However, the Ambassador Bridge has its limitations. It struggles to accommodate the heavy traffic flow with approximately 9 million vehicles crossing it each year. This bottleneck became a significant issue in 2022, when blockades disrupted traffic on the bridge, leading to chaos and highlighting the need for an alternative crossing. This incident spurred discussions about the necessity of reducing dependence on a single bridge for such a vital trade route. Enter the Gordie Howe International Bridge. The new bridge was posed as a solution to traffic congestion and other issues faced by the Ambassador Bridge. However, its development was met with opposition from Manuel Mati Moron, the owner of the Ambassador Bridge. Moron was not pleased with the idea of a competing bridge and went so far as to sue the government in an attempt to halt its construction. He even proposed building a second span alongside the existing Ambassador Bridge as an alternative. Critics argued that Moron's opposition was primarily motivated by financial interests, particularly his desire to maintain revenue from duty-free gas sales. However, his proposal to add another span to the Ambassador Bridge was deemed less than ideal. Constructing a second bridge adjacent to the existing one raised concerns about security risks and potential disruptions if nearby roads needed to be closed. Furthermore, businesses that rely on efficient border crossings, which facilitate over $1 billion in trade daily, recognize the importance of having multiple options for crossing the border. Despite these challenges, the Gordie Howe International Bridge project moved forward. Initially proposed in the early 2000s, the project faced significant opposition from Moron and his legal battles. To oversee the bridge's construction and management, the Canadian government established the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority, or WDBA, in 2012. The authority worked through various hurdles, including securing environmental approvals and permits in both the United States and Canada during the early 2010s. The courts ultimately rejected Moron's lawsuit, allowing the project to proceed, including the expropriation of necessary properties. The Gordie Howe International Bridge, designed by Eric Behrens, the chief bridge architect at AECOM, is a cable-stayed bridge that will feature two towering A-shaped bridge towers standing at 722 feet tall, supported by 26 cable stays. The bridge will have the longest main span of any cable-stayed bridge in North America, stretching 2,800 feet, with a total length of 2.5 kilometers. Rising 151 feet above the water at its highest point, the bridge will accommodate 6 lanes of automotive traffic and include a dedicated bicycle and walking path, making it accessible to non-motorized travelers as well. On the Canadian side, the bridge will connect to an extension of Highway 401, locally known as the Right Honorable Herb Gray Parkway. This below-grade parkway, which features 6 through lanes, runs along Talbot Road and Huron Church Road from a new interchange at a former end of Highway 401 to the EC Row Expressway. The parkway, which was constructed between 2011 and 2015 at a cost of $1 billion, includes 300 acres of green space and over 20 kilometers of recreational trails, with 7 bridges and 2 tunnels separating the trails from the roads. The construction of the Herb Gray Parkway was not without its challenges. Environmental concerns arose regarding the potential impact on the habitat of Butler's garter snakes, a species at risk in Ontario. Biologists worked to relocate the snakes, including eastern fox snakes, and discovered a larger population of garter snakes than initially estimated. To protect these relocated snakes, specially designed fencing was installed along affected portions of the EC Row Expressway. On the U.S. side, the bridge will connect to Interstate 75, with dedicated ramps for smooth traffic flow. Additionally, 3 kilometers of the highway will be reconstructed and widened to accommodate the new bridge traffic. Enhancements to local roads and the construction of new pedestrian bridges will also take place, along with the construction of noise walls to minimize disruptions to the surrounding southwest Detroit neighborhood. The bridge's multi-use path will serve as the first legal pedestrian crossing over the Detroit River, connecting the local streets and trails on both sides. This path will become part of the Trans-Canada Trail, integrating with trail networks such as the Canadian Great Lakes Waterfront Trail and the American Iron Bell Trail. Crossing the bridge on foot or bike will be free of charge. The Gordie Howe International Bridge is anticipated to significantly increase border traffic, with estimates suggesting a rise from 18,500 vehicles daily in 2016 to 26,500 by 2025. Transport Canada has enlisted engineering firms Morrison Hershfield, David Langdon, and Dean to develop comprehensive cost estimates covering various aspects of the project, including right-of-way acquisition, utility relocation, design, construction, and maintenance on the Canadian side of the crossing. The bridge is named in honor of Gordie Howe, a legendary Canadian professional ice hockey player known as Mr. Hockey. Howe played for the Detroit Red Wings and the Hartford Whalers in the NHL and was celebrated for his versatility, toughness, and scoring ability. The bridge's name reflects the deep hockey ties between Detroit and Windsor and serves as a symbol of the enduring bond between these two cities. Construction of the bridge has seen several significant milestones in recent years. The Twin Towers, each measuring 220 meters in height, was erected according to a demanding criterion of a 125-year service life, a benchmark rarely seen in bridge projects. Despite concerns about climate change and sustainability, experts found that extending the service life had minimal cost implications. On Canada Day, July 1, 2020, the placement of concrete for the tower footings began, culminating in 7,600 cubic meters of concrete poured over 6 months. By 2021, the focus shifted to constructing the tower legs, employing innovative techniques to counteract gravity's effects, such as cambered legs and temporary crossbeams. In July 2021, the crucial TI beam, important for balancing horizontal forces, was successfully installed at grade level and post-tensioned. On March 29, 2022, the first deck element was lifted on the Canadian side, marking a significant achievement given the corrosive climate near Zug Island's industrial district. To combat corrosion, a long-lasting 3-coat paint technique was employed, designed to endure 40 years in such harsh environments. In July 2020, the first steel anchor boxes critical for fastening the cables were installed on the U.S. tower. The project's initial estimate cost was $4.4 billion, which was later revised to $5.7 billion. Today, the cost has risen to $6.4 billion, as announced by the authorities overseeing the construction. The bridge is now expected to open for vehicle traffic in the fall of 2025, a delay from the original target of November 2024. The federal government, acknowledging the challenges faced, has agreed to cover the additional $700 million and has waived penalties for the extended timeline. The Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority, which manages the project on behalf of the federal government and the Consortium of Contractors Bridging North America, or BNA, has mutually agreed to adjust the project's cost and schedule in light of unforeseen disruptions caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. That was all from us today for this video, folks. See you in the next one.